Hello, everyone. What's going on? Am I a little blurry? Am I a little blurry? I'm hanging out all right. What's going on? Okay. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. What's going on? Sorry I'm late, man. I'm running all this like new software and and every single day lately it's just been kind of screwing up. It's been kind of just screwing up, and so I've been trying to like having to fix it on the fly. Like it won't let me stream. It's very annoying. So, um, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt. So I'm trying to get everything streaming. I'm trying to get everything working and looking good, and it's just not really doing what I wanted to do, unfortunately. But that's okay. Well, welcome to the live. Welcome to Poly Politics Live. We're doing this on a Monday. Whoop whoop Mondays. Mondays. Yeah, I'm a little tired today too. I back to work today after I had to be off for my surgery, and now I'm back to work today. So, here we are. We're back in this. All right, let me get into my live only chat for my subs over here. Say hi to everyone. Cool. Well, hello to everyone on all of the places. How am I doing post surgery? I'm surviving it. I was actually in a little bit of pain today. Probably the worst pain I've had in about a week post surgery. But I'm really hoping that was just an anomaly and nothing else. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to kind of let it flow and let's see what's up. Not going to worry too much about it. Can't worry too much about it, right? You got to keep living, got to keep moving, got to keep jiving. Got to keep jiving. Are the phone lines open? The phone lines have not been opened yet because I've been on live for 3 minutes. Yeah. So we gotta at least let a few people to get into the live first before we start just going at it. Thank you. It says like the cap. It's brand new. It's only the second time I've worn it. Yeah, brand new. Just bought it. Brand new. Love the new kitten. Did she tell you that I was the one who brought the kitten? Like, I don't know what she's talking about. The new kitten that Ari has. I'm the one who picked the cat up off the street. I don't know. I don't know who we have it as is. No, it's just play. But no, I mean I did pick it up off the street. That is true. I was just walking down the street and I was like, hey, and she just ran up in my hands. I was like, all right, I brought him a cat. So I figured it was with Ari on her live because I didn't see it in the rest of the house. So I figured. No, we're not gonna keep the cat though. But I'm still trying to find its owner. If I can't find its owner, I have another friend that's gonna take the cat. So yeah. But anyways, as you guys are coming in, let's tap the screen. Let's do all the fun stuff. Let's chat in the live. Let's get ready to go.
It's insane.
What is it? Velvet? Velvet says, why did you hang up on the guy who was talking about Avatar? That was so long ago. That was so long ago. How do you even remember that? I don't even remember what we were talking about. I don't even remember what we're talking. I remember that. I remember there was some guy talking about Avatar. I don't even remember what that was about. But Velvet, thank you so much for the $2 Canadian super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I didn't even remember that. All right. Well, let's start by checking our TikTok and seeing what we got. Any guests in there? And it doesn't look like it. So I guess we'll get ready to open up the phone lines a little bit. I guess that's the order of things we go. You know, people for a long time were like, why aren't you bringing up like guests on TikTok and all sorts of stuff? And then I try to do it and then nobody shows up. And that's why. Because nobody wants to show up, or like the same 4 people want to show up. That's pretty much all it is. Oh, we got one here. Let's see if this person's a crash out or not. Oh,
Yo.
shoot. I don't even have my freaking iPad on me.
It's insane.
Hi,
Whoa.
how are you?
What's going on, man?
What's up? How old are you? Did you vote for Trump?
37. Yeah, I voted for Trump.
All right, why is that?
Well, I like a lot of the provisions in the big, beautiful bill.
You voted for him for a bill that you
no-
didn't know existed yet?
No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, raising the child tax credit. I like how there's a lot of provisions regarding border security.
Well, yeah, but
on top of a
all
lot of
three,
other things.
but sir, first of all of those things were in both of their platforms. Second of all, he stole all of those from Bernie Sanders. So that's why you voted for him, because you liked Bernie Sanders policies?
Well, when it came time to vote, I just don't like how Kamala Harris was not as transparent. She didn't really answer a lot of questions. One of the main ones I could refer to is the interview with Brett Baer, which she literally didn't answer like a single question. If
So
she
let
would
me
have,
get this
like,
straight. So you are blaming
yeah.
her based off of one interview in which she got steamrolled, instead of looking at all the rest of her interviews where she answered all of the questions? Or do you just
Well,
not have an
actually, that was
ability
just
or do you just not have an ability to turn off Fox News, and that's why you watched the one with Brett Baer?
well, no, that's just one interview I was referring to, but
Well, I mean, if you talk
mostly,
about the rest of the interviews, then you can't name things where she didn't answer questions, because she answered questions the whole time.
what was her best interview, would you say,
Dude,
that laid out her
I
whole
don't rate
plan?
her interviews, sir. Do I look like fucking
Okay,
Ranker to you?
thank you. Well, okay, let's ask this question. If someone was so misinformed on Kamala Harris, where would you go to look up, like where would you see her actually lay out her plan and
Her website.
and her policies? Her website?
Yeah, had a very detailed list of policies on there.
So you don't have an interview at all in mind?
Why would I go to an interview for policy decisions? If you ask me how I know the most of her policies, interviews have time limits. Policies on websites don't. You can just go and read all of them.
Okay, so read her website. Don't listen to what she says in person.
Well, you could listen to what she said in person. Again, sir, you would have to
Where?
actually just, sir. It's
Where?
been 9 months since the election. I'm not asking why
I
where to
know.
go, sir. It's too late to vote for the better person. I don't know if you know this or not. The election's over. I'm not asking you why you freaking didn't support Kamala Harris. I'm asking you why you support Trump. That's what I asked you.
Yeah, and I told you. Then we
Because
got
Kamala
back to
Harris,
what voting
because of
for.
one Kamala Harris interview.
Well, no, you asked me what we got into the topic of voting, right? Voting for somebody, right? That's how
Yes,
we
if
got
you
here.
vote for somebody because the other person does you don't like the other person's interview, then you sound like a very uninformed voter.
Right. And also,
Right.
that
Yeah,
wasn't
I
the
agree.
only thing. Yeah, and that wasn't the only thing. I mean, like, how was she? I know she made all these promises. How was she gonna pay for all these promises by just taxing the rich?
Which promises are you
Would
worried
that
about her paying for?
the tax cuts, the housing, the child tax, like all of everything that she promised?
But Donald Trump
Didn't she?
is
Didn't
Donald
she
Trump
make a
is
whole lot of
hold on.
promises?
But Donald Trump also promised all of those things. How's he's gonna pay for it?
Yeah, and he laid out the plan.
How's he paying
He
for it
talked
then?
about tariffs. He talked about investments from other countries. Like, what do you mean?
Well, you're right. He
He's
is
a
paying for it
businessman.
by
What do you mean?
tariffs, but those tariffs are a tax on the middle
What about the
class.
investments? What about the
What
investments
investments? What
from other countries,
investments?
from Japan, from the EU, from all? I
Yeah,
mean, have you
Japan
been
already
living under
came
a rock
out.
lately?
Japan already came out. The prime minister of Japan and said that we're not investing any of this shit that you're talking about. That Trump completely lied. And
Where was that? Where's that at?
you can do you have the internet, sir?
No, where'd you find that
Do
at?
you have
Where
the
I'm
internet,
asking,
sir?
where'd you find that? Yeah, where'd you find
That's
that
where I
at?
would find it at.
What's the
Okay. And I was in
source?
the middle of a sentence. Okay. And second of all, the EU one already said that they can't require any of their member states to make any of those investments whatsoever. So I wouldn't expect to see them.
So all the mainstream media is basically lying to us, right? Like every single one of them, right?
Every single one of mainstream media. No, I agree that the mainstream
They
media is
all said the
saying,
same exact thing.
yes, they all said that
Like
Trump
what?
said that they were investing all of this money in, which he did,
Okay, so we're not
which
going to
I
see no
agree about.
investments. We're not going to see no investments under any other
How
countries
exactly would that
at
work?
all.
Do you,
What?
but
What was
what do
that?
you think an investment is, sir? Do you think that that's just the other country just handing us money?
No, an investment would mean like manufacturing. It would mean uh, countries actually putting money in, like for example, Toyota. How they what did they didn't they just build a plant in India? Did
Toyota
Toyota
also
just build
has
a plant
plants here,
in
so what?
Yeah.
They were
Okay.
already
So
investing
is
here,
that
so what?
so is that good for the economy or no?
Yeah, it can be, but it has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, other countries having manufacturing here. I mean, hell, Donald Trump literally just came out and he's like, you need to tell freaking Japan to start building cars here instead of in Japan. Donald Trump doesn't even realize that the Japanese cars that are sold here for the most part are built in the United States. It's already here.
So I know,
We build
but back to my
Hondas
what
in
I was saying.
freaking Ohio, Indiana, Alabama.
Right.
Those it's already
So
happening.
I know how we got how we got far off of the things that Kamala was promising us,
Sir, I
right?
never
We
even
kind
wanted
of
to
veered
talk about
off.
Kamala Harris. You're the one who brought it up. My exact question was, how is Donald Trump paying for all of these things? And you said through tariffs. So what you're saying is Donald Trump literally is paying for all of these things by taxing the American taxpayer. And then you're complaining about Kamala Harris wanting to pay for things by taxing rich people. So what you're saying is you would rather be taxed as like a middle, like have the middle and lower class taxed than tax the rich?
The importer gets taxed, and that's up to them. Rather, they want to pass it to the consumer, right?
Well, it's
Is it
up
a
to them.
guarantee that they're gonna
It's up to
go ahead?
them to pass it to the consumer if the
Right,
margins are big
right,
enough.
right,
If the margins are big
right.
enough where they
Exactly,
can eat it, but not a single product that we get from
exactly.
any of these countries has margins big enough for them to eat it, so they have to pass it on to the consumer.
So wait. So they have to pass it on to the consumer, is what you're saying?
Yes,
They have to pass it to the consumer,
for like
really?
over like 90% of the products. Yeah,
Okay. But they don't have to though, right? If
yes,
they
they
don't,
do.
if they can afford it,
They
if
can't
they can
afford
afford it,
it
they don't have to,
over
right?
90% of the products. That's what I'm telling you. They can't
Okay.
afford it because the margins aren't big enough. Sure, in order for them to eat it, that has to cut into their profit margin. You do know what a profit margin is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if their profit margin is 5% and there's a 15% tariff, there's no, the other 10%, they have no place to get it from. They have to pass it
So
on to the consumer, and that's only if they want to make no money. Because that 5% profit margin was all of the money that they were making, right? So if there's a 5% profit margin, they have a 15% tariff, they have to pass that on. And either A, they make unless if they want to continue making money, and if they don't want to make money, then I don't know how they're going to have a business very long.
So in essence, tariffs are bad, right?
Not all tariffs are bad. Trump's tariffs are bad, but not all tariffs are bad.
Can you explain? Can
Yeah,
actually can
tariffs.
you explain how can
Yeah,
you
well,
explain how
can I
tariffs are
explain the
good then?
last? I said some tariffs
Yeah,
are
yeah,
good.
yeah. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so there are certain tariffs that can be put in, especially when it comes to certain industries and on certain countries, that can help bolster American, manufacturing, or give the American manufacturing an edge up for things that they're failing behind on. We had tariffs on Chinese EVs as a perfect example under the Biden administration, where we put tariffs specifically on EVs and semiconductors coming from China because China was making EVs at a rate that the United States couldn't. And we were trying to, get away from those as fast as possible. We didn't want them to start flooding our market with them, which they really weren't putting in cars anyways. But anyways, they used that along with subsidies to make sure that we could build EVs to make sure we could catch up with Asian nations, right? So we had a specific tariff that was just on EVs.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense? So that helps America
Yes.
catch up. When you just say, I'm going to put a 15% tariff on anybody, you're not protecting American manufacturing from anything, because the majority of those products, American doesn't manufacture, doesn't have the ability to manufacture, and will not be manufacturing anytime soon. So therefore, you're not protecting any certain field of manufacturing within the United States. You're literally just taxing Americans.
Well, do you agree that we're in a trade war with China right now, or no?
Yeah, we've been in a trade war with China since Donald Trump's first term.
So if you were in a trade war with China and you're not going to use tariffs, how would you go about it?
Sir, the
I'm
trade war
asking
is
you.
because of the tariffs. The trade war started because Donald Trump put on tariffs.
So we've only been in a trade war with China this year,
No,
is what you're
his
saying?
first term when he put on the
So
tariffs.
since the first term, before that, there was no trade war.
Correct.
There was no foul play with China as far as trade
Sir,
with
sir,
the
foul
U.S.
play is not a trade war.
No, I'm at, bro.
You didn't ask if there was any
What
foul
did
play.
I just
You
ask you?
said,
What
was
did I
there
just
a
ask you
trade
right
war?
now?
And I've already answered your question multiple times. No, there was no trade war before that. The institution of the tariffs in Donald Trump's first term is what created the trade war.
Okay, so Donald Trump started the trade war.
Mhm.
There was no there were so before that, so before Donald Trump came in office, they played by the rules. China played
Sir,
by
what
the
do you mean
rules, and
played
everything
by
was
the
great.
rules, dude? What are you fucking
Not
talking about?
not taking advantage of
Taking
the
advantage of
U.S.
what?
Uh, Are you serious? Do
Yes.
you not know anything about the trade with China
I'm
before
very
Trump
familiar
got
with
in
it. I'm trying to
office?
figure out what the hell you're talking about.
You are very familiar with it.
Sir, I'm going to put this on the screen and I'm going to read it out loud so maybe that you can understand what you're trying to talk about, because obviously you're just saying words at this point, okay? A trade war is an economic conflict between countries characterized by the implementation of protectionist measures, primarily tariffs and other trade barriers, to restrict trade with each other. Okay? That's what a
Okay.
trade war is. So before Donald Trump put the tariffs on, there was no trade war.
Okay.
The
Before
tariffs is
Donald
what
Trump came
makes
in
it a trade
office,
war.
before Donald Trump came in office, how did the trade look with us and China?
Uh,
How did it look?
what
Like,
do you
did it
mean,
look
how did it
fair?
look?
Did it look no? Did
What
it
do you
look
mean
cool?
by
Did it look fair?
fair,
No.
sir? I don't understand
Oh
what
my
you mean
God.
by fair. No,
No, you
sir,
don't.
you're
You don't know what fair
laughing, but
means?
you're laughing, but
Do you know what fair
sir, you
means?
do realize that this whole like fair thing is just something
Equal
which
playing field. Was there an equal playing field? Everything was just great.
everything was
They weren't
equal.
taking
What was,
advantage of us. They
sir,
weren't taking
sir,
advantage of
sir,
us. They
sir,
weren't
sir,
doing anything. They
sir?
weren't taking our products, stealing it, and selling it back to us. They weren't doing nothing
No,
at
they
all.
were not
Everything was
taking our
just
products,
great.
stealing it, and selling it back to us. That wasn't happening.
Okay. Can you look that up on your computer real quick?
Sure, where would you like me to find it?
Oh, the internet, just like you told me. The
Okay, I'll look
internet.
that up later then too.
Just look it up on the internet.
Okay,
That's what you told me, right?
all right, but sir, it doesn't change anything with what you're just saying about fair. Okay,
Right.
fair
Exactly.
is subjective. You do understand that, right?
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
Okay, so
Obviously,
when
you
you're
don't know
just
what fair
yelling
means.
fair, 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 fair.
Yeah.
Fair doesn't mean anything to me, sir. Are you asking if we had a trade deficit with China? We absolutely do, but I don't consider that necessarily bad. Are there some copyright issues that are going on with China and the products that are coming from Asia and China? Yes, that is bad. That's something that we do need to be better at when we're talking about, when we're talking about things like that and improving.
Now you
Sir, hold
acknowledge.
on, sir. But when we have issues with copyright problems, but tariffs don't fix copyright problems, okay? Import laws fix copyright problems. So if your problem is with copyright issues, then the tariffs aren't doing anything to fix that. We had problems with like the Uyghurs when it came to, labor laws and China's use of slave labor in certain parts of China. That is absolutely horrible, and that could be fixed by laws. But again, tariffs don't fix that problem. So were there problems with the trade with China? Absolutely. Were the problems have anything to do with fucking fair?
Hold on. Okay,
fair doesn't describe any of those, which is why I kept asking you to expand on what. No, I'm speaking now because I asked you to. No. I asked you to explain 4 times. You cat had your tongue, so now I'm explaining. So now you be quiet. Perfect. So when you're saying just fair doesn't mean a damn thing to me. I couldn't care less about the word fair. Okay, when Donald Trump says fair, Donald Trump is usually talking about a trade deficit, okay, or he's talking about a reciprocal tariff. Donald Trump has not instituted any type of tariff that is reciprocal to make it fair. Plus, taxing your own citizens shouldn't have to be a fair thing. And when you're talking about a trade deficit, saying that you have a trade deficit with a country doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad or good. It's just a trade deficit, okay? So that's how Donald Trump uses fair, and neither of those things were a problem. But if you're asking, was there a problem in any way with China, then absolutely there was.
And how would you fix that problem? I'm asking
I already
you.
explained
And you can't
that.
not using tariffs. How would you?
Yes, I did. I actually explained how I would fix it when I was explaining the problem. You should have been listening.
How would you fix it? Okay,
I already explained it when I said the problem.
How would you fix it?
See, this is why I need you to listen.
You didn't explain at all how you would fix it.
All right, chat. Can you please tell me that what I said just 30 seconds ago to show that this guy has no idea what he's talking about? If you guys just put it in the chat exactly what I said.
Answer the question.
The whole chat's going to fix it for you because I already said it.
No, you didn't say it.
Then how come everyone in the chat right now is literally saying exactly what I said?
The word fair. That's all you did was just complain about the word fair. That's it.
What did I say the problems were, sir?
You didn't answer my question.
What did I say the problems were, sir? If you could tell me what I said.
My question?
Yeah, absolutely. If you tell me what problems I said there were, then I will tell you how I would fix them. Sound good?
Yeah, how would you fix the problem of copyright?
Yeah, like I said, we need better import laws.
Okay. And what? You're not explaining no action. You're just saying like we need better. How would you do it? How? And you can't use tariffs.
Sir, do you know how a law is passed in this country?
Oh my God. You don't want to answer the question, bro.
No, I am literally in the middle of and I'm literally giving you the most simple answer.
Okay, give us the solution. Go ahead.
Okay. Already done that. And I'm not going to sit here and do this with you anymore. So if you don't have the capability to comprehend the words that are coming out of my mouth,
you're not answering no questions, bro. You're just dancing around.
And
you're not giving no solution at all,
sir. If that's
we should fix our law.
5, 4,
that's your answer.
3, 2, 1. Okay. If you want to act like a child, I'll treat you like one. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, awesome.
Answer the question.
I've already answered the question, and I'm not going to sit here and just listen to you go, answer the question, answer the question, answer the question, answer the question. I'm not going to sit here and do that, okay? So you can either try to make an actual intellectual point, or I'll just kick you and move on to the next person.
Well, since you concede on you don't know how you would fix the problem, we can move on. So immigration, let's talk about immigration. Donald Trump was fantastic, in my opinion, on immigration.
Yeah, sounds great.
On the border.
It's insane.
Yeah. Oh, in case you guys didn't notice, I just moved on to the next person. Guys, I don't sit here and play these dumb games. If you want to have an actual real conversation, we can have a real conversation. I don't sit here and play dumb games, okay? Learn how to act like an adult before you come talk to me. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines, move on to the next person. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Velvet, thank you so much for the super chat. Said I saved that one because it was hilarious. Thank you, Velvet. I really appreciate that. Josh Johnson said, because it's our president. It's funny that your name is Josh Johnson, too. I find that hilarious. Josh Johnson is freaking hilarious. Hello, how are you? Velvet, thank you so much for the super chat. Said I saved that one because it was hilarious. Thank you, Velvet. Hello, how are you? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Awesome.
Awesome. How old are you?
How are you? I am 33.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why is that?
I heard you like 3 days ago. You were saying about the Israel-Gaza thing, how Israel was striking hospitals, but that hospital was a legitimate military target under the Geneva Convention.
No, it's not.
It definitely was, because there was a tunnel running underneath where they're storing.
Yeah, awesome.
And under the Geneva,
can you prove that?
Screenshot. Yeah, type in Geneva Convention.
No, I don't want to type in anything. Do you have an intelligence report that says that there was freaking
I have screenshots from
screenshots of what?
Geneva Convention.
No, I know what the Geneva Convention said. That's not what I asked you. I said, do you have proof that there was tunnels running underneath and that those tunnels were unable to be hit? I am in the middle of a sentence.
Well, the New York Times.
I am in the middle of a sentence.
New York Times.
Well, you don't know what the New York Times said because I haven't finished asking my question yet.
You're saying about tunnels underneath the hospital. Yes, New York Times.
Yes. Can I finish my sentence now?
No, you can't.
All right. Well, then I'll just move on to the next caller. Have a wonderful day.
You got one twice.
Do. Call lines are back open. We'll keep this thing going. I don't know what is going on with people today. They're freaking wild. Jose, thank you so much for the jewels on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the jewels. That's really, really sweet. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Good.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'll be 30 tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I'm actually in the middle, but as of right now, yeah, I do support Trump.
All right. Why do you support Trump? Thank you so much, Penny.
Because I believe he is America first.
All right. And how is he America first?
Well, over the past 4 years, I feel like that the last administration in the past 4 years in office particularly favored illegal immigrants, I guess, if you want to say.
All right, sir. Well, first of all, no matter what happened in the previous administration, it does not make Donald Trump America first. So I asked you why Donald Trump is America first, not what you thought about the Biden administration. So that's what I'm asking. There is literally nothing that could have happened during the Biden administration that makes Donald Trump America first. So how is Donald Trump America first?
How is he America first? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean,
then let's get to it. Where'd you go? Oh, he ran. Penny, thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate that. And William, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, can you talk a bit about China having not complied with WTO rules on trade? They've not been the best at all times, which is why we need stronger laws, which is what I was referring to, William, when I was talking to that last guy. But we can go in a little bit into more specific, like World Trade Organization rules later on. Y'all, if you guys are here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We do this every day but Thursday. Please make sure that you guys hit subscribe, turn on those notifications so you guys know when I'm here, when I post content, all that sort of stuff. If you guys like support, I do have super chats open, memberships open, all the fun stuff. So if you guys like support, paid subs, I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Hello, how are you?
Well, I'm doing good.
Awesome. How old are you?
Old enough, fucker right in the pussy.
Are you trying to name things you've never done? That's a weird flex, bro. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
34.
Awesome. Do you sport truck?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because I believe we should put the citizens in this country and what benefits this country above everything else that we've been doing in the past.
Insane!
As far as
Can you talk closer to your microphone? You sound like you're in another room.
give me 1 second. Hello, can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just feel like he's doing what he should do as far as concentrating on the problems here in this country.
How's that?
And
How's he doing that?
how's he doing that?
Yes. How's he doing that?
By working on our economy, for example. I know I was listening to you earlier. I know you're very against tariffs, but they, in my opinion, they may not be the best forms to do things, but the alternative that everyone else happens to do, which is essentially doing nothing to fix the imbalance in our trade worldwide, is just not an answer either. So
Fixing imbalance with our
may
trade.
not-
What do you mean by imbalance with our trade?
our deficit in trading worldwide,
Why is that trade deficit bad?
that's what I'm referring to. Excuse me?
Why is a trade deficit bad?
I mean, if our economy shut out from all the economies in the rest of the planet,
It wasn't.
but everyone else wants to send their products over here and export our dollars to other countries.
Yes, sir.
How would that be good?
What country were we shut out of?
Excuse me?
What country were we shut out of?
Well, I mean, we're not officially shut out, but when you have,
Insane!
for example, what we're charged on importation of our vehicles to foreign countries, in Europe, for example, they charge us a ton of money in tariffs to be able to import, where essentially if you were to buy an American vehicle in Europe, you'd pay 2-3 times what it's worth here in the United States. So obviously no one's going to import our vehicles to their country.
No, sir.
when you could
There was already American vehicles in Europe. There was actually plenty of them. I mean, they weren't the number one car
I mean, I
manufacturer,
didn't say they're not.
but hold on, sir. But again, there's more Japanese vehicles and stuff like that. Just because Japanese vehicles and other vehicles like that, and your ones made in Europe, first of all, fit the specifications that are needed to be able to drive in Europe, and second of all, they actually fit the roads, because you know what the biggest seller of like the biggest the number one like vehicle sold in the United States is by American manufacturing.
You're asking me what American manufacturer sells the most in the United States?
I'm asking you what vehicle in the United States is sold the most by American manufacturers.
I'd probably guess Ford, but that's just
That's a good one. It's the F Series trucks. You ever been to Europe?
Yes, I have.
How well would F-150s do on European roads?
Not very well, depending on where you're at, but that's very specific.
It's actually not very specific.
essentially-
Actually, American manufacturers
Can I
specific.
finish real quick?
But
Can I finish my answer?
No, I'm good.
But
So
you're
American
interrupting me,
manufacturers
sir.
actually
I'll let you
specifically
finish.
design cars for American roads,
So a
which are much
conversation goes
larger.
both ways, sir. I let you finish. Can I finish my sentence? You asked me a question.
No.
Okay, well then
Awesome.
you can talk by yourself, then, buddy.
I'll just talk to the next person. Bye. So what I was actually trying to say was the cars actually those cars actually for manufacturing. They actually manufacture cars for American roads. And so those cars don't exactly translate over there. But actually the import tax on Europe for American cars, while it was, I think, a little bit stronger than ours was for them, it wasn't actually that significant. Now you go ahead and say whatever you want to say. Oh, my bad. I forgot you ran because you're a child. My bad. Sorry. I couldn't remember. Oh, sorry. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you? How old are you?
I'm 18.
I don't believe you. Hello, how are you? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 47.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Why is that? Because he's done great for our economy. He's
How's
done
that?
great for looking out for the American people. How is that? How is that? In many ways. He stopped the border influx of illegal immigrants coming into this country unchecked, unvetted.
You said he was doing good for the American economy. How is that good for the American economy?
Oh, well, but we can get into the trade and differences.
No, I
and
asked you,
balances
how is
that
he
were-
doing something good for the American economy? You said he stopped the flood of undocumented immigrants. I asked you how that affects the economy.
Oh, that's very easy. All those jobs that were being taken by illegals are now open for who? American citizens.
Well, sir, actually, as of the numbers that came out about a month or so ago, there's just about as many open jobs in the United States as there
What
are.
numbers and who are you quoting?
I'm sorry, what, sir?
I said what numbers and who are you quoting?
I am quoting the
Gonna
Bureau of
need
Labor
facts on that.
Statistics, the CDC, and literally every single independent organization in the United
CDC?
States.
What does the
Sir,
CDC
I'm still
have to do with anything?
Sir, I'm still talking.
But you gotta say
And
facts. CDC
every
don't mean nothing.
Are you done yet? Just let me know when you're done, and then I'll answer your question.
No. Are you done with the BS? The CDC, the Center for Disease and Control. Tell me what that has to do with illegal immigrants and wage and labor.
It's insane.
Like I was saying, though.
No, you're not saying anything. You can be quiet now, and I'll answer my question. I told you to let me know when you're done so I could answer your question.
Oh, go answer, please.
Okay, you gonna cut me off this time, or are you good?
Are you gonna spit BS? I mean, it all depends.
Okay. Well, like I said, the number of jobs in the United States is like pretty close to exactly how many people are unemployed. So if we were to deport 11.6 million undocumented immigrants that are currently in the country, then that would be 11.6 million.
11.6. Where do you get that? Because that's way off.
Last chance, bud.
Last chance what? Why don't you quote an actual number, not something you just pull out
Is
your rear end?
11.6 is 11.6
No, sir.
Is 11.6
No.
million not a real number? Pew Research Center, by the way.
No. And I'm looking at it right now, and they got it at 29.9.
Okay, what is your source then, sir?
The Pew Research.
Pew Research.
Lying.
Okay, Pew Research says what?
29.9 million undocumented.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the name of the article?
Illegal immigrants. The name of the article.
Yeah.
It's under their facts and statistics.
It's under their facts and statistics. You know, Pew Research actually has the ability to name things, right?
Yes, they name.
Yeah, we name things using
individual
words.
things.
You want to use one of the words?
What word would you use?
The word that's on the
looking
top
at
of the Pew
facts-
Research study, which I've asked you for
facts
3
and
times.
Statistics. Labor and statistics.
I asked you for Pew
Oh,
Research
cool.
Center. Yeah, you said it was Pew Research Center. I'm asking for which article?
Labor, facts, and statistics. How many times I got to repeat myself?
Oh.
Are you that slow?
No, actually, I already have the data from Pew Research Center already up, and it's sitting here so that everyone can read while you're over here crashing out. But sir, to be completely honest with you, what's even more sad is what you're saying is that that it would be more jobs for Americans, and as I already said, the amount of jobs are about even with the unemployment rate in the United States. So if your number was actually 29 million or whatever, then that would then be 29 million unfilled jobs in the United States. So actually, your point gets worse the more undocumented migrants there are. You do understand that, right? Because the more undocumented migrants there are, if we remove them, that's more open jobs in the United States.
Okay. Let's move aside from that.
Let's not.
and get
How about
down
you
to the
respond
heart
to
of the
what I
matter.
said?
How about the trafficking, the sex trafficking, the drugs that flow over that border, unchecked, unvetted,
That must have
the
hurt.
people that are unchecked and unvetted, that bring drugs, crime, rape, murder, all the good things that come along with unchecked illegal immigration that have a net effect on our economy and our own
So,
people.
sir, undocumented immigrants just last
Mega
year.
first.
Yeah, undocumented immigrants just last year paid over $100 billion, or just under $100 billion in state, local, and federal taxes just last year. So, how do you think that would affect our economy if we lost that?
Do you know how much money that they take in Medicare?
Oh, zero.
Welfare.
Zero.
No, they take care. That just shows how ignorant you really are. That's how you liberals are. You think that you know, but you don't. But you spit out the most ignorant bull.
Well, if you're just
crap
going to
that
sit
there
here
is.
and ad hom instead of actually, like paying attention to something, then I can just move on to the next person.
Ad hom.
Yeah. Sir, what's an ad hominem?
You're pretentious. You're pretentious.
All right, sir. Well, you know what? The people that actually want to listen would actually rather me talk to somebody that, had more than 2 brain cells that weren't fighting for third. Okay? So either you can respond to what I said, or I'll just move on to the next person. It's not a big deal.
Respond to what you said. You didn't say nothing but lies.
Sir, I said that if you say the number is higher, then that means that's more jobs that need to be filled in the United States. So therefore, where are we going to get these people to do these jobs at?
It doesn't even make mathematical sense. You deport over what Joe Biden let in, which was approximately around 30 to 50 million people.
No, it's 30 to 50.
Those people that were working illegally.
Just a second ago, it was
lower class.
It was 29 million total in the entire United States. Just 2 minutes ago, according to this guy's numbers.
That is what Q was reporting.
Yeah, according to this guy's numbers, it was 29 million total, and now all of a sudden it was 30 to 50 million just under the Biden administration.
We all know that they underreport those numbers.
That's impressive. It went to 30.
We all know.
29 million.
That they underreport those.
It went to.
Well, you got a lot of trust in the government system.
So where are you getting your numbers from?
Where am I getting my number from? I can Google them. I can look them up. It's easy to see.
Yeah, and when you Google them and look them up, where are they coming from?
Where are they coming from? Government statistic numbers.
Oh,
all you got to do is go to government.gov.
You trust the government?
You can look up under any of it.
You trust the government? That's crazy. You just told me not to trust the government numbers, and now you're telling me. And now you're telling me not to trust the government numbers. I'm very confused.
Well, when they spit out a number like 29.9, that usually means they're underestimating them by about 20 million, if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you seem to trust them very much, so.
Actually, I wasn't using government statistics. I specifically said it was Pew Research Center.
Good collectivist lib.
Sir, I literally just.
The propaganda,
sir,
that you guys have been gone.
All right,
to
awesome.
School,
well, I'm going to go ahead and talk to somebody that has the ability to talk, right?
Arts degrees.
So I hope that you're drinking whatever wine you found under your table. I hope that goes really well for the rest of your night. Okay.
It's insane.
I actually specifically said Pew Research Center, which is absolutely not a government source. Funny enough. CC, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said caller victim of our education system. Our education system is even better than that. So I can't even blame that one. But thank you so much. Shay, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. I really appreciate that. The Travis Miller, I'm dim. Let people talk though. It looks bad. First of all, I'm not a Democrat. Second of all, I just let the guy talk for you. How did that go for you? I saw this super chat and I let that guy talk just for you, Miller. Okay. I let him talk just for you. How did that go? Hopefully I didn't make us look too bad. And Michael, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, how can people say Trump is America first when he just cut off healthcare, CDC, and etc.? Absolutely. Cutting all the stuff for America and then saying America first is absolutely wild. And then Cece, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I also really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. All right, we're gonna keep moving. Oh, I forgot, missed this one. QAnon people need help. Fake fact versus fact people are a virus. 100%. All right, let's keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, y'all, if you guys are here, you guys hit that sub button, you hit that follow button, you make sure you turn notifications on no matter where you're at through here. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much. And we also have members, super chats, all that fun stuff open. Make sure you're joining the team, supporting the live. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much.
How you doing?
All right. Hi, how are you?
Good. Do I have to do this on a phone call, or can you add me on the TikTok chat?
What's your name on there?
Joe Polyglot. I already requested. I just don't want to have two audio things going at once.
My TikTok's being a little weird right now because it's overloaded. I'll see if I can. Oh, shoot. See, it's lagging out. Oh, that's you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting double audio.
I'll just not talk to you at all. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is this the YouTube channel, I guess?
Yeah, how are you today?
I dialed the number, but I dialed the number, but I didn't know for sure the first time I went to a voicemail. I'm doing all right.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why's that?
Many reasons. It started with actually back in 2016. Again, just done with politicians in general. Sick of hearing them continuously, say things and then do the opposite. And, the whole time they're being political and they're being careful on what they say and not really showing you who they really are. It was refreshing to see somebody actually, just be exactly who they are, like as advertised, I guess.
Well, I'm sure that would be great if the person that was advertised was a decent person. But if someone advertises as the devil,
why do you think he's a bad person? I guess.
Well, I mean, he's been adjudicated of sexually assaulting someone. He's a 34 times felon. He sexualized his.
Well, no,
sir. I'm sorry. If you're going to ask me why he's a bad person, you can't stop me after the first one.
That's fair.
Yeah, because there's a really long list. I'll try to shorten it for you if you want. Like when he sexualized a 10-year-old girl, or when he said he had sex in common with his daughter, or when he, defrauded a children's cancer charity, or the fact that he hung out with Epstein and talked about how he liked young girls, or, how he cheated on his first wife with his second wife with his third wife with a porn star, then used campaign finance money in order to cover up that from his wife who, by the way, was pregnant, I believe, at the time while he was doing all of this. I mean, really, he just ripped healthcare away from 10 to 17 million people, taking away food benefits from people. I mean, how is he not a bad person? I think is a better question.
So I guess half the things I don't think there's any evidence on at all, and then the other half I think are misrepresented.
Well, half of them were literally proven in court, and the other half I have video of him doing it.
What do you mean proven in court? And where you're talking about video, I guess.
Well, yeah, when he said I have sex in common with my daughter, he did that on national television. That wasn't something hidden.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
If that's the case, there's no defense for that. I've never seen that. I would love to see it.
Yeah. When he told a 10-year-old girl, I'd be dating you in 10 years, he also did that on national television. Yeah. And him defrauding a children's cancer charity.
On that, like a 10-year-old girl, I don't know. I don't know about, again, a 10-year-old girl, you're just trying to compliment her. I don't know if that's true or not. And I'm not saying it's a great thing to say. I'm not defending that at all.
Sounds like you are.
Again, no, I'm not. That sucks, man. I'm not defending him saying that necessarily. I'm just saying context does matter. It's like, the fine people thing, again, or him making fun of the handicapped guy. Context matters, and it happens all the time. And again, he wasn't adjudicated. A lot of those things are like civil cases and with no evidence at all, or it's by a completely different standard
Literally,
of law versus a criminal complaint.
Everything I just said is either adjudicated in court or on videotape. These aren't things that are not proven, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. He was literally sued, sir.
Civilly and criminally are two different standards.
Yes, they very much are, and both of them mean you did some shit.
No, that's not true at all.
Yes, it does, sir. Let me.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe you've never sued or been sued, or maybe you don't understand how civil court works. Okay.
Probable cause. It's reasonable doubt in criminal cases. Otherwise, it's 50% or
No.
better.
Criminal cases is beyond a reasonable doubt.
Correct. That's
okay.
Yeah.
In civil court, it's just more likely than not. It's like not as
50%
high of
or
a
better.
burden,
That's what I said. Yeah.
but it's a high burden. But again, both of these were unanimous juries with evidence presented.
Where were they at?
Sir, I don't give a shit where they're at, sir. Why are you trying
It
to
matters, though.
see, sir? But no, sir. What matters is you're like, I think he was a good person, and then when I bring up 10 different examples,
I'm not saying he's a great person. I'm saying he's
sir,
a good president.
you did. You said
No,
I thought he was a better person, and then when I bring up examples on how he was a bad person, instead of actually listening to how he's a bad person, all you're trying to do is make excuses for all the bad things that he was doing instead of actually listening. So yes, it's very easy to just say that, oh, he's not a bad person if you're just going to ignore or try to justify every single thing that I say is bad.
Oh, okay. Can I take a different approach? I guess. I guess I feel like he's constantly attacked and all that, and it's hard not to defend him. So I feel like every time I talk to anybody and I say I support him, I have to defend him, and it's weird because I don't want to defend him because he says so much stupid shit, and I think most people feel that way. And I think that when people support other people, the standard isn't the same, and it's hard not to get caught in the weeds when all that happens. But I guess at the end of the day, why I support him is I think that he does do a good job in the Medicare. I agree. If we could keep kicking it down the road, but we're going to keep racking up debt in the meantime. And more importantly, I don't see anybody else that could do anything better. If you have a better candidate, somebody who could do the job better, who's a better person, I just haven't seen them, I guess.
Sir, literally any candidate would have been that.
Like Joe Biden or Kamala Harris?
Joe Biden on his deathbed in a coma would have been better than what Donald Trump is doing, yes.
We saw that, and again, look where it led us.
It led us to the economy that the Wall Street Journal called the envy of the world, the freaking lowest reduction in inflation rate after COVID on the fucking planet, the largest infrastructure bill.
This is wild, man.
The largest infrastructure bill.
The infrastructure bill had nothing to do with the infrastructure at all, though.
Then how come tens of thousands
a lot of that spending is the reason why we're in debt.
Sir,
it only gets worse from there, not better.
Sir, stop talking. I was in the middle of a sentence. Be quiet. Okay. We got the largest.
Don't tell me to be quiet.
Then act like your age. I wouldn't have you to be quiet if literally I'm responding to what you said and you didn't just cut me off the last 4 times I tried to speak. Act like your age, and then you don't have to be told to be quiet. There we go. All right. So again, we had the freaking lowest reduction of inflation of any industrialized nation and the fastest of it after COVID. Okay. Again, the Wall Street Journal said that it was the literal envy of the entire world, the economy that he gave to Trump. We had the largest infrastructure bill, which literally had tens of thousands of infrastructure projects, bridges, roads, new airports, new freaking fiber connections, power lines, the whole gambit, including freaking emergency services, like the emergency funds that were offered to freaking Kerr County that could have paid for their emergency alert system in Texas, stuff like that. The Chips and Sciences Act, which freaking gave us isolation from Chinese-made semiconductors and Asian-made semiconductors. The PACT Act. There's a ton of bills that happened under Biden. What has Donald Trump done besides the big beautiful bill?
Are you talking about all together or?
Oh, sure. The big beautiful bill and the TCJA.
Like the 2 times? Oh, let me start by this though. The big reason why nothing gets done or nobody can talk is, again, whether I interrupt you or not, I'm not trying to be rude. Again, it's a passionate topic, whatever, and I'm not trying to be rude. And I never talk down to you, but you do. You definitely
Sir, I don't care about your
and
feelings. I want you to tell me how all of those Biden bills that I just said.
See, you're cutting me off.
No,
Be quiet.
Because I don't care about your fucking feelings.
See, you're being a child.
I will sit there and let you talk.
I listen to you. Now listen to me. You're a child.
Cool. I will listen to you in 1 second.
Hey,
okay.
Sit in time out, and when I'll call on you when it's your turn.
Okay. Well, you're about to get hung up on if you don't be quiet.
See how this works?
Yeah.
See, this doesn't work. That's what I'm saying.
It's insane.
So listen. Do you want to talk or not? Quit talking. Let me talk.
All right. You ready? All right. I'm gonna sit here and let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk. Okay.
Okay. So did Joe Biden take showers with his daughter? Is the laptop true?
All right. Well, you didn't let me say my butt. What I was going to say is, if you want to talk about policy, I'll let you talk all you want. If you want to talk about your feelings about me, then I won't let you talk at all. But you wouldn't let me get that out, so
it's insane.
Oh well, guess you're gone. That was easy. Michael, thank you so much for the super chat. Said 47 turning on 5. Yeah, for sure. Garage Hobby, thank you so much for the $5. Said L for the host. You finally got someone you can have a rational conversation with, and you treat him like that. Sad. Actually, I thought I was treating that guy very good. I just didn't want to hear him talk about my emotions because I'm not trying to date him. But you should cry about it. I heard that helps. Guys, I'm not here to sit here and play this game with people. If you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. I'm not going to sit here and freaking play your dumb games with you. Hello, how are you?
Howdy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 47.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I sure do.
Awesome. Why is that?
So let me just start by saying that this country has gone downhill ever since Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and Nancy Pelosi. A lot of people love to hate on Biden. A lot of people love to hate on Obama. But ain't no one was more wickeder than that bitch Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, she's very manipulative and be playing both parties, Democrats and Republicans.
I could not give a shit about Nancy Pelosi at all. Why do you support Trump?
I was getting to that.
Can we just get to that part? Because I really don't care about Nancy Pelosi.
Listen to me, you agnostic, Jesus hating liberal kid.
How could I possibly hate someone? How could I possibly hate someone I don't believe it exists?
Listen to me, sir. Listen, we Republicans.
All right. Well, that's enough of that. We'll keep this thing moving. That was weird. Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you? I'm excellent. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, I just like to say that Biden sucks.
Oh, you hung up before you got all your words out. You were trying to say something witty and then run away, but you didn't get all your words out. It didn't work out very well for you. You were trying to yell something bad and then hang up the phone, but you hung up too fast. You need to work on your hand-eye coordination. Hello, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I am doing excellent. How old are you?
I am 27 years old.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do support Trump.
Awesome. Why is that?
It's for a multitude of reasons. I'm just going to start with men and women's sports. Can I start with that, please?
Sure, absolutely.
Can
I start real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Why are you so concerned with Donald Trump banning 12 people from the NCAA that don't have any effect on your life whatsoever, that you probably couldn't even name the names of or what sports that they played? And Donald Trump is literally spending taxpayer time and dollars to draft bills about 12 people that haven't bothered you at all. And again, you probably don't even know who they are. That's weird.
So it's more about, I guess, fairness. Because honestly, it doesn't affect me at any point. I don't play professional sports. You're correct about that. And yes, there's only like 12 individuals about that. You are correct about that. Again, I'll give you props for that.
We're not even talking about professional sports, sir. Can you please name a single trans athlete that was in professional sports?
I cannot do so.
Can you please tell me what sport they're in? Like, are we talking, like WNBA or maybe on the, like the women's national team or something, soccer team or something like that, where you can talk about, since all these trans people are dominating because it's completely unfair. I'm assuming that, every women's sport is just completely, inundated with trans people, right?
Yeah. So there's obviously the Olympic sports and boxing.
Are you talking about Kamani or whatever? Because she is definitely born a woman.
Okay. Well, since this is going downhill,
was that who you were talking about?
My next topic. Yeah, basically. Okay.
Yeah. So you do realize that she was. You do realize that she was born a woman, right?
Okay.
No, I'm asking you a legitimate question. Did you know that?
it's not the person I'm talking about. The person you said yes is a woman. I know that.
Okay, who were you talking about? Because maybe it's a different one I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know the name, and that really looks bad on me, but I just don't know the name. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because there was only 2 boxers that were accused of that. The big one was I think Kamani or something like that. She was from Algeria. I forgot what the other one, where the other country was from, but that was some like off like boxing like weird test that didn't really have anything to do with it. So actually, after this entire thing, came about, they actually went back and actually genetic tested both of them and found out they were both born women. Yeah. So there was no one in the last Olympics in the boxing that was trans whatsoever. They were both women, born women.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
Well, basically, when I pull that.
Oh, go ahead.
You go.
Oh, and anyways, when we're talking about Olympic boxing from other countries, which by the way, like they were saying that, like she was trans when she's from Algeria, where being trans is literally illegal. I don't think in a country where being trans is literally illegal, those countries would literally send someone who's trans to the Olympics to represent their country, right? So like that would be very strange, right? So literally this is just a fear-mongering tactic to try to put like all of this stuff in the case. But I think the really big thing like behind all of this, and this is really, really true, okay? If Donald Trump is going to come out and have economic policies and policies that rip 10 to 17 million people off of their healthcare, or is going to rip freaking tens of millions of people with, take food out of their mouths because they can't afford to eat because they live below the poverty level and Donald Trump is taking food from them. Just being worried about 12 people is just wild to me, dude. It's just a crazy thing to worry about. And it feels like just a victimization ability to just be like, oh, we want someone to hate or we want someone to go after. So we go after trans people because they're the easiest people to go after. And I think that's really sad.
All right. So I guess I really tripped on my words and I really do apologize for that. I guess my main point here is I'm more focusing on high school and college, stuff like that, just for the fact that men biologically here, most here, because there are some women out there that are much stronger than I am or most men are, but they have a more advantage over them, and I find it super unfair. And like you said earlier, it doesn't affect me, but it just rubs me off the wrong way since I study biology and stuff like that.
Yeah. So first of all, if they're so dominant, then why weren't all freaking sports in the NCAA just championed by trans women?
I guess there were not all trans people play sports. I know that.
Well, the 12 that were in the NCAA, I'm assuming they were all like world champions, right? Because they dominate so well.
I'm so sorry. I'm super distracted here. My mind is just all over the place. My bad.
Yeah, sir. The reason why there wasn't this domination of trans people in women's sports is because your whole thing about this fairness thing or it being dominating or anything like that is just completely a farce, right? And plus, there's all sorts of different genetic advantages that we use within sports, right? It is a genetic advantage that freaking that Kevin Durant is like 6'10". Okay, that is a genetic advantage in the NBA to be incredibly tall. We don't freaking discriminate or make federal laws about genetic advantage when it comes to sports, right?
Well,
do we?
Well, can I counter that? Can I counter that real quick?
Well, but I will allow you to counter that gladly all you want as soon as you tell me how all of these trans people were dominating because of their genetic advantage.
It's because men tend to build more body mass than women, and are generally taller. Again, this varies person to person. But genetically speaking here, women and men are different in size range, weight range, and strength ways. So when these men come out transgender and play against women's sports, it's unfair to the women in the competition for these muscular dude to just be towering over them and be stronger than them. And obviously not all people are like that, and I will always say that. But, these people that do get talked about, that's the case.
Yeah. So I would assume that somebody like Ronda Rousey probably has a higher testosterone level than, the majority of, just your everyday woman that you talk to just walking around, right? Who's a UFC fighter. So should we ban her because she has more testosterone, therefore she can build muscle faster and stronger than the people that are around her? Should we now ban her from the UFC because she had a genetic advantage? Maybe it's the same thing, sir. You're saying that because of a higher testosterone level that happens within males, that they have a genetic advantage in which they can gain muscle and do all these sort of things, right? So we should ban anyone in any sport that, has a higher level of testosterone according to estrogen. That way they can't, create a genetic advantage and be able to beat other people in sports.
Well, my counter to that, I should say, is that average wise, again, there's always that person that I'm just going to say freaking nature. That's the only way I can describe it here. That is, stronger than the average or weaker than the average. What I was trying to get at is because there are women like that, like what you just said, and we shouldn't ban them because they just so have to be genetically that way. But what I was trying to get at is the average dude is stronger body mass, what I said, than the average woman.
Has the average dude gone through 2 years of hormone therapy before they're allowed to compete? Is the average dude tested for their testosterone and estrogen levels prior to being able to compete to ensure that their muscle mass are not gaining at a certain level? Do we not have a whole bunch of scientific research that has already been able to study this? Do we also not have sports that literally thrive off of parity with like the NCAA that would be completely destroyed by trans people taking over? And again, if all of these things are true, where are these dominating people in the NCAA? There was 12 of them. Can you please tell me what school they were champions in and in what sports? Because apparently they were just so dominant and they were just towering over their counterparts that apparently they were just whooping the shit out of them as better than everybody, right? So where were they? Who were they? I want to see all these people.
All right. Just saying here. I was trying to mostly talk about high school and college. I don't know much about the league you were talking about, but
I'm talking about college, sir.
Anyway, but like I said, not everybody is built the same. Like I play sports. I'm super tall, and I play against kids that are super short. But the main factor here, I guess you could say, is even with this, the hormone transfer and all that stuff, there always will be genetics that will just stay with you no matter what you do. So that can stay with you even if you do all that stuff and go into a different sport.
Sir, I just really want you to tell me how this genetic advantage is causing them to tower over and dominate their competition, yet they're not fucking winning anything. That's all I want you to explain to me. I don't understand how you're telling me that they're dominating, they're towering over their counterparts, they have all this more muscle mass, they're superior in every way, but they're not winning anything. That's I just want you to justify that to me. How are they not winning anything if they're dominating? If they're not, how are they not winning anything if they're so dominant?
But the thing is that they truly are. I see it all the time. These men that are just
who were the champions then?
What?
Who were the champions then? There was 12 people in the NCAA. Can you please tell me how they were these superior champions over their counterparts?
I'm not talking about the NCAA. I'm talking about other sports that people compete in. That's what I'm trying to do.
So you don't care about pros or college?
Because it doesn't really happen all that often enough for me to really notice or really care. Because a
so you don't notice or don't care, but you voted for Donald Trump because of it.
That's not, and I wanted to get this out of the way because I knew this was going to be the longest conversation. That isn't the main reason why I voted for him.
It should have been the shortest conversation, as in it shouldn't have been a conversation whatsoever, because you shouldn't have actually made it, because this is a ridiculous point that you obviously cannot defend.
I'm trying to defend this best I can, but you keep defaulting back to a state that I don't know.
Because your main point is that they are dominant. If they are dominant, sir, if they were dominant, then you would just see trans people, the entire WNBA just be trans people. You would see all of freaking NCAA sports just dominated by trans people. Trans people would be winning at basketball and soccer and volleyball, and it would just be all trans people who are just dominating the entire sport all the way across the board. But that's not happening because what you're saying isn't true. Because that's what would happen, sir. If I picture this, sir, okay?
I'm listening. Don't worry.
If I just like created like another like race of human beings that was superior to us in every single athletic way, and I allowed them to compete in the NFL, who do you think would be the top winners, the best people in the NFL? Would it be us humans or this race that is just incredibly superior on all aspects?
Right. The next race. I'll just keep going with
awesome.
Okay?
So if you're saying that these trans people are genetically superior on all ways, then they should be dominating in every single sport. And they're not doing that. They're not even close. They're barely even fucking winning any singular matches.
It's insane.
Like every once in a while, it's huge news when one trans person wins like a single match. Your entire idea behind this domination is ridiculous, and it is absolutely ridiculous to vote for a presidential candidate because of sports at a college level, which should be independent and shouldn't even be part of this conversation to begin with. Okay. I don't want the president to be telling me what a catch is in the NFL or in college football either. They should not be making these rules. They should not be involved in college sports. It's ridiculous.
All right. I'm so sorry you're getting really mad about this.
I'm not mad. It's just sad, dude. It's just sad that we've gotten to this spot, like as like Americans, where literally this like freaking like little tiny group of people has just become the punching bag for Americans because they need someone to punch down to, and it's sad.
Right. Well, I guess this was the point I wanted to get first, but I guess I'm going to shift topic here real quick. The main reason why I actually voted for Trump is because he actually, gets stuff done. He actually gets stuff done.
Like what?
Okay, so, southern border crisis from 2020 to about 2024. Huge spike of illegal immigrants came in. When Donald Trump came in, we saw mass deportations back to said original country.
We have not seen mass deportations.
That's what I really supported.
We have not seen. We have not seen mass deportations. First of all, let's start there. We have not. Donald Trump has only deported like 250 or 260,000 people as far as the last numbers I checked. There may be like a month old, so maybe he's up around 300 times, but that's not even as many people as were deported at this time last year under the Biden administration. So we haven't seen that. Second of all, the only reason that we had a border problem, as long as we've had a border problem, is because Donald Trump stopped the border bill that would have fixed it in 2023. So the whole reason that Donald Trump even got to come into office to fix a border problem to begin with is because Donald Trump created the border problem that existed.
You see, during his first presidency, he, whole wall thing and helping with the southern border. Then Biden came in and stopped said building, and this isn't about the wall. But after Biden came in, all I heard about millions of people coming into U.S. illegally under the Biden administration.
Yeah, and estimated how many people came in under the Biden administration illegally.
21.1 million.
Try 1.7.
I can double check that, but that's what I heard.
Try 1.7.
All right. How about this? I'll search it up right now, if that's okay.
You can go ahead and search it. And I want you to search it. I want you to tell me exactly what article, and then I want you to read exactly what it says because I know exactly what it's going to say because I've had this happen 1,000 different times.
How many people?
All right. While he's looking this up, FedEx, thank you so much for the $5. Said this is the exact reason you all got dog walked in the election. I didn't get dog walked in anything. I didn't run for election, and I'm not a Democrat. So, but thanks. Cash, thank you so much for the $2. Said subscriber only mode shows who this guy is slime. No, subscriber only mode is so that y'all can't come in here and just freaking spam my chat. Y'all can't come over here and spam my chat with nothing without subscribing. So that's why subscriber only mode is on. Y'all ruined that. Y'all ruined that. I didn't used to have it as sub-only mode. Y'all ruined that. But thanks for the $2.
Hey, guys.
Real quick, Stacy,
I got the article up.
Hold on. Stacy said if he studies biology, he should know what 2 years of estrogen, HRT, does to someone's body. You would think. You would think, Stacy, that he would know that, but I guess, school isn't what he's used to. Probably one of those liberal arts degrees. But thank you so much, Stacy. I really appreciate that. I know I'm aware. I like to talk to you so much. I like to talk to people a lot more when they're still here. That's a lot better. But anyways.
All right, you ready?
Yes, I'm very ready.
So, all right. So under USA Facts, border officials encountered 11 million unauthorized immigrants.
You already said the perfect word.
Attempted to enter the U.S. between August 2019 and January 2024.
Yep, couple words in there. First one is encountered. Second of all is attempted.
And you are absolutely correct on that one.
Yep.
Because
so those are the amount of people
could be lower.
No, those
could
are
be
just
lower for what you think, but it also could be higher. That's
so first of all, sir, no,
it's
it can't be higher, sir, because those are the amount of people that Border Patrol stopped, apprehended, found out the immigration status of. Okay, so that means that they came in. Maybe they were coming in under asylum law. Maybe they were coming in because they had work visas. Maybe they were coming in for any other type of reason why you could be legally here. Maybe they were turned around and deported immediately on the spot. Maybe they were, turned around. Maybe they were deported to another country. Maybe they were apprehended for crimes. All of those things, okay, can happen after an encounter. An encounter doesn't mean that somebody was let into the United States. It just means that the Border Patrol encountered them. That's what that means. And that's the difference between what you're saying. So when you're saying 21 million, that's not how many people came to the United States. If you want to talk about how many people came to the United States, we have a projected 1.7 million that came in undocumented. I believe it was 2.6 million that came under asylum law. I believe it was about just under a million that came in under refugee status. And we have lots of different reasons why people came into this country or came into this country. If you want to talk about undocumented immigrants and whether we should have better Border Patrol to make sure that we have, less people sneaking around Border Patrol trying to come into the country, I completely agree with that 100%. And so did Biden, which is why he tried to pass legislation to fix that. But saying that Joe Biden let them in is a complete farce.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we would have had more Border Patrol agents at the border to be able to stop them. But Donald Trump stopped the border bill that would have given them that.
But Joe Biden could have also easily have passed it himself.
No, you can't pass a bill yourself, sir. That's not how laws work in this country.
I don't know.
That would be an autocracy.
Power of the president, he can pass a bill regardless of Congress or court, as long as it fits into the Constitution.
Wrong. That's just unequivocally wrong. I don't even have a comeback to say that, because that's just so unequivocally wrong. That, sir, what are the three branches of government?
Legislative, judicial, and legislative.
Yeah, you said legislative twice. You want to try that again?
Already? Sorry. Legislative branch, judicial branch, and executive branch.
Awesome. What are their jobs?
Judicial branch is nation government in charge of court and law, approval, you could say. Legislative branch sees laws and passes through them and see if they are up to standard, up to constitutional right. Executive branch initiates the sorry, I am super tired right now. Executive branch enforces the laws. They pass the laws and puts them into order.
No. Okay. So the legislative branch passes laws. Okay. The judicial branch interprets the laws, and the executive branch executes the laws. That's why they're called the executive branch. Okay.
Right.
So when it comes to passing laws, there is only one branch of the government that can pass laws. That's the legislative branch. They're the only people that can do it. So Donald Trump can't do that. Joe Biden couldn't do that. The executive branch can't do that. Okay. So when it comes to passing actual comprehensive immigration reform, a change to the laws in this country, the only people that could do that was the legislative branch. That's it.
Yeah.
So Biden couldn't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, sir, I do need to go, but I would like to thank you for the talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one, man.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye. All right. Well, that digressed a little quickly. We're going to keep this thing moving. Move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Oh, this is Mitch. I'm was listening to the last caller you had on.
All right, Mitch. What's up, Mitch?
Hey, not much. I like your question. Why do I support Trump? Well, I support him more than anybody that was on that Democrat ticket. We're a bunch of goofballs, liberals, that did nothing for our country but bring harm and create chaos and destruction to not only our economy, but also they didn't provide the safety and security that every American is entitled to. As a disabled American veteran, I have to say that it's not just a Republican problem or a Democrat problem. The problem with the border was Alejandro Mayorkas, it was Joe Biden, and it was also the Republicans, and it was also the Democrats in Congress. They swore an oath to defend both foreign and domestic. So when you have a domestic problem and you swore an oath to defend it and you don't do it, like these many Republicans laughed and mocked as they dropped off illegals over in Martha's Vineyard, they're just as guilty as the Democrats are for allowing these murderers, rapists,
all right,
to come in.
Watch the wordage.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well,
the
let's slow down for a second, okay? The people that were sent to Martha's Vineyard by Republicans were not undocumented immigrants; they were asylum seekers. Okay. Second of all, hold on, sir. Relax.
Anybody could go to the border and say,
Sir, I'm trying to thank you for your service. I don't know why you're crashing out here. You said you were a vet. I'm literally trying to say, number 2, thank you for your service. Stop crashing out.
Well, I'm not crashing out. I'm saying anybody.
I'm trying to say a freaking sentence of thank you for your service, and you won't let me because you're yelling over me.
No, I was trying to say.
No, you're yelling over me. Be quiet. Okay, I'm trying to thank you for your service. Okay,
well, thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Yes,
okay. The people that were sent to Martha's Vineyard by DeSantis, or the people that were sent to New York or Chicago, were asylum seekers, okay? They are legal migrants in the United States according to U.S. law, okay? If you want the law changed, I don't have a problem with that. That's the reason why we have laws in the United States, okay? But the laws would have been changed and made stricter under the Biden administration, except for Congress refused to pass the law, and Congress refused to pass the law because Trump asked them not to.
Right, but Biden could have used his executive authority to stop all the nonsense. There were people getting killed by people that came here illegally. I'm not saying they were asylum seekers, but I'm saying many could come in here and say, "I need asylum." Now, what was Alejandro Mayorkas? Was he allowing people to come in here that unvetted that were claiming they want asylum? And then it was Republicans busing them to cities throughout all of America that are ran by Democrats. Is all I'm saying.
First of all, if you were accepted for asylum case in the United States, you were vetted. Every single one of them was vetted. Okay. Second of all, that's the law for you to allow them to be able to come in. So I don't know like what the problem is here. Again, if you want to change the law, that's fine. But he was letting in people that were seeking asylum that were vetted. Third of all, not everybody that was coming in and trying to seek asylum was just let into the United States. That's not true. Over 60%, I believe, of the people that came into the United States that tried to seek asylum at the border were immediately either turned around or deported because they didn't have a valid asylum claim, because according to our law, you have to have evidence of your actual crime, or evidence of your actual asylum case in order to be let into the United States. But crime rates almost across the board were down under the Biden administration, and undocumented immigrants commit a violent crime at a rate that's 30 times less than American citizens. So trying to blame crime on undocumented immigrants just isn't valid at all.
I'm not bashing immigrants that are coming here and seeking asylum from a country that is war-torn, or I'm not bashing on any of them. We need people like that to come into America, especially if they want a better life for themselves or their family members. I'm bashing on the fact that the The people in Congress, whether they're Democrat or Republican, they swore an oath. They violated their oath. Nobody, no news agencies, outlets are calling this out. They're the ones who violated their oath to defend and protect the American way of life. That's what it's about. It's not about bashing anyone that comes here seeking asylum. It's about protecting the lives of American people. And when you see the Democrat Party, when all they care about is people that are coming across the border and protecting MS-13 and going on and on for 3 or 4 weeks of it, you know, on the news, just making a clown show of themselves, it's not going to get them more votes come 2026.
Sir, MS-13 was started in the United States. It was started in Los Angeles. It wasn't started overseas and came here. Okay, so that's a homegrown problem. Second of all, if we want to actually stop people from being killed in this country, and you actually want to protect people from being killed in this country, especially children, we should start by actually having common sense gun laws in this country that Republicans consistently stop, because they are having almost no freaking gun control in this country is killing freaking exponentially more people than any freaking undocumented or documented immigrants are doing in this country whatsoever.
Okay, with that idea that you have more gun laws, then how come in Chicago, who has more gun laws than any other state, Illinois, for example, you look up the statistics of how many people have been murdered in Chicago. How many people?
Yeah, Chicago's shot? Like number 8 on the list. It's not even like number 1. Actually, like the first 3 places, the first 3 places are all like Republican places. You know that, right?
No, they're not. Baltimore. I'm talking.
No, Baltimore's not number 1 either. Let's see, top cities.
Democrat-run cities. It's not ran. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican state. They're Democrat-ran cities, and they're running them to the ground. They've been running them to the ground for decades.
Sir, actually, if we actually look, the number 1 city is Gary, Indiana, followed by Birmingham, Alabama, followed by Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, Portsmouth, Virginia. Okay. The first actual Democratic city that pops up for gun violence is Camden, New Jersey, and then Baltimore. Chicago, I don't even know where the hell Chicago's at. I can't even find it on the fucking list. It's really not, sir. Gary, Indiana. The correct answer is Gary.
Indiana. I've been to Gary. Gary.
That's the
My cousin got shot and killed in Gary.
That doesn't surprise me. That's the gun homicide across highest gun homicide rate in the United States. But sir, instead of comparing it, sir, but instead
is ran by the Democrat.
But instead of Sir, instead of comparing it to a United States city where people can just drive an hour, buy a gun, and then bring it to that city, how about we compare it to every single other country on this planet that actually has common sense gun laws and see that their homicide rate is exponentially lower than ours?
99% of the gun owners that carry responsibly in states that have constitutional gun laws. You know what it is? You know what the Constitution says about gun laws? The Second Amendment.
In order to have to form a militia, you are allowed to have a gun. So if you want a militia, go for it.
Well, what do you want? You want look at Europe. You want people slicing people's necks with knives?
You know that Europe's stabbing rate.
It doesn't matter.
Do you know that
you're going to kill with other items? You know,
sir. Europe's homicide rate with knives is still lower than the United States homicide rate with knives. And we still have a worse gun problem.
I don't know where you're getting your stats, but people with constitutional carry that have the constitutional carry right have a concealed carry, whether it's a constitutional carry state or not a constitutional carry state. The
2023
carry those licenses. They're not on TV murdering people.
2023 top 3 states. The top 3 states with the highest gun deaths per 100,000 likes: Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama.
Let me finish my thought. Again, more. You're talking about more Democrat-ran cities.
No, those are states, sir. Mississippi, Louisiana, sir. Cities don't create laws. Cities don't create laws. Like the states are creating the gun laws in this. Sir, constitutional carry or concealed carry laws are state laws, not city laws.
Yeah, I said that. I agree with that.
But,
Illinois does not. You know what? Illinois does not take anybody's permit. It don't matter what state you come from. They have the strictest gun laws in America, is what I'm saying. And Chicago is killing each other. And the reason why they're killing each other is because they don't have daddies to raise them. It's unfortunate. It's sad. I live right next to it. I know.
Let's see. Top rates with over 21.12 adjusted death rates at 27.54. 27.54 or higher. Mississippi and Louisiana only. The next ones that are the worst for gun rates per 100,000 people are Alabama, New Mexico, Arkansas, Missouri.
I'm not talking
Montana.
about rate of people. I'm talking millions of people in the major cities.
Sir, all you're saying is there's more people here, so there's more deaths. I'm talking about the rate of people that are killed by guns based off of how many people actually live there. So per 100,000 people, if you're trying to not get killed by a gun, the places with the loosest gun laws, the most red states, are the most likely people to kill them.
Stay out of Memphis, Tennessee. Stay out of New Orleans. I'm telling you, those cities are all ran by who? Democrats.
And have fucking laws created by who?
By Satan.
By Republicans. Well, if you want to consider the Republicans Satan, I don't completely disagree with you. But those are laws that are written by Republicans. Republican gun laws cause more gun deaths per 100,000 people than Democratic ones do.
What's good is that why are you upholding the Democrat? That's part of the Constitution to bear arms. If you can't understand, that's part of your civil liberty.
I think it's kind of funny that everybody just doesn't read the whole rest of the Second Amendment. They just go like, shall not be infringed, and they just completely just ignore the whole rest of it.
I don't ignore it, brother. I read the whole thing.
Insane.
You want me to read it to you?
Sure, go ahead. Oh, I can read it to you if it's going to take you forever. I already had it up. A well-regulated militia. That's how the first words start. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's just really funny how we only ever talk about that last little part where it says shall not be infringed, but not about the part where it says a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state. Now, if you actually want to go into different laws, like if you want to go into Heller versus DC, or if you want to go into Bruin.
Would you rather have a thug carrying a gun or a veteran carrying a gun? Let me ask you, would you rather have a thug in the city carrying a gun or a veteran carrying a gun in the city?
Well, I'd rather not have a thug carrying a gun in a city, and if the veteran is you, I'd rather you not carry one either.
Why? Why shouldn't I carry one?
I don't know. You seem like you might need a psyche valve.
No, I'm just. It seems like you don't like my little like what I have to say about the cities. They're all ran by Democrats.
No, sir. You're saying cities because, sir, cities are just inherently Democrat. You can pretty much name every city, and even cities that are in more Republican places are going to tend to be more Democrat because Democratic Party usually tends to lean more towards diversity and inclusion. And when you live in cities, they usually tend to have more people like that. Okay, not to mention the fact that obviously cities are going to have a higher concentration of people. But if you actually want to look at the people who are actually, sir, if you actually want to look at the people who are actually creating the gun laws, if you actually look at that is Republicans that are creating those gun laws, and then those gun laws are then going and killing people.
You know what? They're not creating the gun laws. It's in the Constitution. You just read it. Here, I'll read it to you again, since you read it to me.
A well-regulated militia.
Being necessary.
I agree that a well-regulated militia is necessary. I 100% agree that a well-regulated... I completely...
Illinois a free state?
Yes,
and Illinois a free state?
Yes, and they can have a well-regulated militia.
They don't.
Well, then they're against the Second Amendment already. Point taken, and we're done. they actually do have a well-regulated militia. Well-regulated militia in the context of the Second Amendment would be close to the National Guard, and I do know that Illinois has a National Guard. So therefore, yes, they would absolutely have a well-regulated militia, and I 100% agree that the National Guard should have guns. I think that is very, very important.
Any other state, they do not acknowledge any other state of people who carry concealed or open carry license. They don't acknowledge it. Illinois is the only state that does that. So they are violating the Second Amendment. Read it.
It's actually not a violation of the Second Amendment. And DC versus Heller in the Supreme Court decision that was written by Anthony Scalia, who's a staunch Republican and a constitutionalist to a certain point. It is absolutely not doing that.
We're not violating it, but downtown, southwest side, they're murdering each other. Certainly, they're in violation of that. They want to clean up their city. You want to clean up the Democrat cities? It's not the gun laws.
No, sir. I want to clean up America. I want to clean up the United States. Sir, I really don't need the microaggressions from you. Okay? I don't really need your microaggressions with your little thug talk, okay? What I am saying is that we have 33 developed nations on this planet, and we have 32 of them that have pretty good gun laws, and then we have us, and we're the only ones that are killing each other. We're it. That's it.
We're the most violent place on the planet. I agree with you.
We're the only place with these horrible gun laws. You are 100% correct.
You are too on the fact that we are the most violent place on the planet. And I'm telling you why.
I just told you why. No, sir. It's people like yours inability to understand that we could still have guns in this country and still be able to regulate them and still be able to have control over them and still be able to have research into them. We could have all of those things and still have our guns, but instead of doing that, you'd rather just have freaking, these laws that just completely freaking allow people to just do whatever they want. And then
I shouldn't own a gun, but I served my country. I shouldn't own a gun. Well, why not?
I'm not saying you shouldn't, sir, but I am saying that we do need to look into it.
You did earlier. You said that.
Well, that's because you're just kind of acting kind of erratically, and erratic behavior is not a good sign that you should probably have one. That's my issue. No, but you are quite erratic.
I'm not suicidal.
But you know, there are people quite erratic.
There are people in the cities. Hello. There are people in the cities who are homicidal, and they don't even have a gun license.
Sir, you know who else? Sir, you know who else says they're not homicidal? You know who else says they're not homicidal?
Do nothing about it. I'm not.
You know who else says they're not homicidal? Every single person that's homicidal. Every single person that's homicidal.
I didn't say they were all homicidal.
Says they're not homicidal, so obviously that's like that.
You're homicidal if you're going around shooting up people and you don't even have a gun.
Sir, I really don't like, just talking, like I'm sure you're a well-intentioned guy or whatever, but to be completely honest with you, this has just gone completely off the rails and you have no will to listen to anything that's actually going on in this conversation. You have just set your mind to yell Democratic run cities over and over and over again, and it's just starting to sound like a propaganda video. So at this point, instead of sir, let me just ask you a question. I'll ask you one final question.
Do you agree with?
Sir, no, I'm asking you a question. The people that create the gun laws for Louisiana, Mississippi, or Alabama, what states are they in? I'm sorry, what party are they?
The states are ran by Republican, not the cities.
Awesome. Yeah, because the states are the ones that create the gun laws, sir. Because the states are the one that create the gun laws, and they are the highest rate of homicide by guns in the United States. It's your states. Stop trying to blame cities. It's your states that are causing these homicide rates. Yours.
It's stupid people. It's not the states.
Yes, I do agree that those stupid people. I do agree that those stupid people creating the laws are also they're very, very stupid. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I hope you have a wonderful day because I'm really tired of hearing you yell. So have a wonderful day.
Just so you know,
it's insane.
Right. Yeah, I'm so tired of hearing Democrat-run cities. It's absolutely wild, dude. As the freaking literally Republican-run states are the worst. Stacy, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, since context matters, I would love to know in what context the guest thinks it's okay to mock someone with cerebral palsy. I do remember that person. That was really sad. That was actually really sad. But hey, we're in a part of America where apparently making fun of disabled people is apparently okay. I guess that's really what the Republicans wanted when they voted for Trump, I guess. Roberta, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate that. Kalila, what's going on, Kalila? How you doing? Says MAGA champions against government interference in everything except for women's pregnancy, women's sports, education, sexual orientation, etc. Pretty much top-down control in social construct. Yeah, they want control over every single thing that is not what they call a right, which just seems to be the rights of white Christian males. As long as it's cis white Christian males, they want them to have all the rights. If anybody else deserves a right, let's get rid of that as soon as possible. You did forget immigrants in there. You did forget immigrants and their right to due process, which apparently Republicans don't care about at all. Kalila, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you guys are here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, hit that follow button, depending on which platform you're on. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna move on a couple super chats, and then we're gonna take at least one more phone call because I haven't even been on for 2 hours yet, so we still got a little bit of time. So, yeah, we're gonna keep this thing going, but we are gonna hit a few more super chats. MKN says they all come with the same fucking arguments and they don't even bother to search actual facts. That's crazy. Because why would you search for actual facts? Why would you search for actual facts when you could just, repeat whatever Fox News told you to say? It's so much easier. I'm telling you, it's so much easier. You should try it sometime. Just, find out whatever they told you and just keep going with that. Dude, you don't need anything else. Patrick, thank you so much for the $2. Says, what's sad is how educable caller is. I appreciate that. Tony says, Nam Mayo Rinj Kayo after listening to this caller. That's funny. I appreciate that. Michael Jackson, thank you so much. Says, tell that man to go take his meds and get some sleep. Yeah, maybe lay off the liquor cabinet a little bit too. And Anon, thank you so much. Says it's always someone else's fault. We need regulation. Oh, but don't touch my shit. Yeah, we have to have regulation. But please don't touch anything that I have whatsoever. But it's the Democrat-run cities. Oh, Republicans are doing it. It's the Democrats. But Biden. I haven't even checked. Has anyone even been playing bingo today? I don't even know if we've been playing bingo. Y'all, if y'all would like to support, I do have super chats open. We put them on the screen. We talk about them. We have a good time. Also, I do have paid subs open and members open. If you'd like to join the team, be part of the cool Poly crew. We're pretty cool. I don't know. I think we're pretty cool. I am biased though, but I think we're pretty cool. But hey, we do that. We have the teams open. You do get part of our monthly merch giveaways. Also get to play bingo right now. The bingo is going for a merch giveaway if anybody actually hits it. And yeah, so we have lots of different ways to win cool merch and stuff like that. Also, I do try to do a couple sub only and paid member only little lives and stuff like that at least once or twice a month. So I really appreciate that. So if you'd like to be a part of that, that's a great way to support lives like this. And also, you could also gift them too if you'd like to do something like that. That's also really cool. I'm sure there's some other people out there that would love to do that also. All right, we're gonna open up these phone lines, keep this thing going to the next caller. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Maybe we'll see who's over in the TikTok land real quick. Oh, maybe. Sorry, my TikTok is absolutely losing its mind. It is absolutely losing its mind right now. It cannot handle everything I have going on this screen right now. It cannot handle anything that's going on right now. Hello, how are you?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
33.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Can I also say real quick before we move on to this next caller? I just realized that.
What's up?
I'm not talking to you. You can just stand by for a second. I just realized something on the TikTok side of things. We just hit 60,000 followers. That's pretty impressive. We just hit 60,000 followers just right now on TikTok. So can we get a big round of applause for everyone in here? Big W's for a round of applause for everyone in here. Woo woo! I don't know what we're at YouTube, but yeah, we'll have to check that later too. I know we're closing in on that 30,000 number on YouTube, so that's pretty awesome too. So we can keep that going too, and I really appreciate you guys. All right, so actually, I had one other thing I needed to look up too. Oh, Kayla, thank you so much for the $1 saying, just making sure we know my offer for the previous guest. That guy was great. Oh, shoot. Kayla said, I haven't offered this in a long time, but he sounds so misinformed. I'll offer 3 free therapy sessions if he wants. Thank you so much, Kayla, for the $5. I really appreciate that. And Phil, thank you so much for the $2. So this guy really said that 50M on the low end really came in during the Biden administration. So 10%. I can't finish reading it. It disappeared on me. But hey, if you do need a good therapist in your MAGA, Kayla will hit you up. All right, boss. So why do you support Trump?
Well, because of the gun laws. Because he protects the gun laws.
Really? So how was the bump stock ban a protection of the gun laws?
The bump stock ban, because no one needs a bump stock. Any normal gun owner would agree with that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, awesome. So can you please explain to me what policy was more restrictive that was passed under the Biden administration or the Trump or under the Obama administration that was stricter than the restriction of bump stocks under the Trump administration?
Well, the bump stock was an accessory.
I'm very aware of what a bump stock is, sir. I'm asking you to tell me a policy that happened under the Biden administration or the Obama administration that was more restrictive than the bump stock ban.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I lost you.
Yeah, awesome. So there was a minor majority in the Biden administration. It wasn't a super majority, but it was a minor majority in the Biden administration where they had, a limited amount of limited ability to pass restrictive gun laws, and they chose not to do it. And then under the Obama administration, there was actually a super majority under the Obama administration where they could have passed whatever restrictions on gun laws that they wanted because there was no Republican to even stop them, and there was none passed during that. So considering the bump stock ban has been the most restrictive policy against 2A in the last 16 years, I'm wondering how, since Trump's bump stock ban was the most restrictive bill, can you please tell me a policy from the Biden or Obama administration that was more restrictive than that was passed under their administration?
I'm talking about his concealed carry protections.
Awesome. What concealed carry protections?
So Trump is right now putting in law that the concealed carry be reciprocal in all 50 states. And that will soon be passed.
That's not a protection, sir, more than anything, because you can conceal carry in every state right now.
You cannot. So concealed carry, if you get it in one
Yes,
state,
you
it's not reciprocal to the other state.
Yeah, but that isn't. So now all of a sudden we're not for states' rights?
It's a federal law.
Gotcha. So
I never said I was for state rights.
Oh, so you're not for states' rights?
I am for gun rights.
But you're not for states' rights, right?
I'm in this particular sense, I am not.
No, sir. Either you're for states' rights and the ability to govern their own people, or you're not. You don't get to say I'm for states' rights in something that I like and against states' rights for something that I like. Are you for states' rights or are you against states' rights?
I am against state rights.
All right, awesome. So you should be very, very much hate that Donald Trump put in Supreme Court justices that overturned Roe versus Wade and turned it back to the state, right?
We're not talking about abortion. We're talking.
We are not talking about abortion. We are talking about states' rights. And since you brought up a bill in which would violate states' rights, so I want to talk about. You said you support Trump because he's going completely against states' rights. So I want to be clear that you're consistent.
Said that.
No, you just did, sir. So I just want to make sure that you're consistent, okay, in not caring about states' rights across the board.
Let's bring back to the topic of gun rights.
No, we're on the topic of state rights. Okay?
No, I brought up gun rights, and now you're bringing up state rights.
You're bringing up gun rights as they relate to states' rights.
I did not.
I did.
Said federal law, reciprocal carry. I am allowed to carry in all 50 states. That's the law that's going to be passed.
Right, which would go against the state's individual right in order to decide the gun rights of their own state. So therefore, that is going against state laws, Okay, it is the federal
Correct.
government going into individual states and telling states what they can or cannot do to protect their citizens. Even though, again, the states with the loosest freaking laws when it comes to concealed carry in this country right now have the highest rate of homicide by guns in those states per capita. So when you look at states like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, who have very loose concealed carry licenses, right, where it's much harder to get it than in a state like California, have a much higher rate of homicide per capita than more democratic states that have stricter concealed carry license. So what you're saying is that Donald Trump gets to go in, violate states' rights, and he gets to implement rules that are going to make the people in those states less safe.
Not when it's an extension of the Constitution.
I'm sorry, extension of what part of the Constitution? Does it say that concealed carry
Second
laws
Amendment.
exist?
The Second Amendment.
And the Second Amendment says what about concealed carry?
It says protect from a well-regulated militia
Mhm.
to infringe. Okay? So if your objective is, okay, take the guns away from people.
No, hold on. I never
That's
said that was
restrict-
my objective in the slightest. So please do
So
not
what
try
is
to
your objective?
hold on,
What would you like?
sir. Where in the Second Amendment does it say we need to allow concealed carry of weapons? Because the Second Amendment very specifically says in order to have a well-regulated militia, and a well-regulated militia, according to the Second Amendment, in the context in which it was written, would be something like a National Guard, and I completely support that. So if you want to represent exactly how the Second Amendment was written, that would only be for the National Guard and wouldn't apply to everyday people. But if you want to go off a Supreme Court justification, which would say that people are allowed to carry personal weapons, you would have to go like a DC versus Heller Supreme Court decision, which said that a well-regulated militia is not necessary in order for individual people to have guns, but it also said that states also have the right to restrict guns within the federal government, and the states have the right to restrict guns up to a certain point. So which one is it? Do you go off the strict Second Amendment, which means that it has nothing to do with concealed carry, or do you go off of Justice Scalia's decision in the Supreme Court, which said that the states have the ability to restrict it? Either way, this is a violation of state law and the Constitution.
Well, you brought back the original point of abortion. Somehow that came up with state law.
Oh, now
Where
we
in
want
the
to go back to abortion. That's
Constitution-
interesting.
Where in the Constitution does it say anything about abortion?
Where in the Constitution does it say, I would say life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, or the right to bodily autonomy, or all persons born, but there's stuff like that. But regardless of this, I very much tried to bring up the thing with abortion, and you said specifically and unequivocally that we are not talking about that, even though I tried to bring it up 3 times. And so I don't know why you're trying to run to it now.
So then the constitutional carry in the Second Amendment.
Constitutional carry is not in the Second Amendment.
It argues that the Second
Do I
Amendment.
need to put the
grants
Second
individuals-
Amendment back up on the screen? Is that better? Should we do that? Okay, maybe I'll do that, because maybe we're having a confusion on what the Second Amendment. It's like one of the shortest amendment. I'm not sure if it's the shortest or not. I'd have to check for like character count or something like that. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, which makes complete sense because, again, a well-regulated militia, as was written in the Second Amendment, would have been like a National Guard as we see it today, and being necessary to the security of a free state, which makes complete sense because each state has their own National Guard, so the security of the free state would fall to that National Guard or that militia. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Nowhere in there does it say that people should be able to concealed carry like whenever they want, or to constitutional carry whenever they want. It doesn't say any of that in that Second Amendment, okay? So I'm telling you, I'm giving you a little bit of an out, saying that, again, Justice Scalia in DC versus Heller said that you should be able to, that individual people should be able to use weapons. Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with individual people should be able to use weapons in that specific context? Yes.
All right, awesome. Well, the only reason that is okay is because of the DC versus Heller case, which also said that it is not unconstitutional whatsoever for individual states to be able to make laws concerning their own gun rights, as long as they are not completely like taking them away. But having the ability to restrict who and who cannot carry those weapons is completely within the state's rights. So which one is it?
Well, Trump's going to change that.
So Trump is going to go against the Constitution and the Supreme Court and against everything, and you're just okay with that because you like your guns, and you don't really give a shit about freedom or the rights of people or the rights of states or the rights of children to be able to live or the rights of anybody to really be able to live without mass shootings. All you care about is I got my guns and I can take it anywhere, and you don't really give a shit about anybody else. That's about the most un-American shit I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Do you know why the Second Amendment was put in place?
Yes, to be able to put down slave rebellions in case that ever happened. But hell, I mean, I guess we were able to get rid of freaking get rid of slaves in this country. Well, kind of, almost all slaves in this country. But apparently, you want to bring that back too, huh?
Do you know why the other reason why the Second Amendment was put in place?
Sir, that was the reason. I just told you why. So unless you're going to start defending slavery over here, I would advise you probably divert away from this conversation.
Don't gaslight.
I'm not gaslighting at all. I'm warning you.
Okay. The Second Amendment was put in place to protect us from us. So if you want to take the guns away from everybody, and then you don't want to have Trump having this, what you call him as a dictator or a tyrant, having control of all the weapons in the country, what makes you think that if they take guns away from the citizens and civilians, that the government won't turn on its own people?
What makes you think you can take on the government, sir? They have drones and F-16s, okay? There is nothing that your AR-15 is going to do against highly trained Navy SEALs. If you think for even half a fucking second that you stand a goddamn chance against the U.S. government, if the U.S. government decides to turn its military on its own fucking people, then you have another thing coming. I'm sorry that freaking people in the United States think that because they're part of the Gravy SEALs that they're going to take on the U.S. military, but they don't stand a fucking chance in fucking hell, which is actually really sad because at the same time, Donald Trump did try to turn active duty military against its own people, and in this term, he has actually turned active duty military against their own people. So, sir, unless you think you're going to take on, unless you think you and a bunch of your buddies with AR-15s are going to take on the freaking, you know, the 7th Special Forces or a battalion of Marines, then I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
He was allowed to do that. And the same people said the same thing back in the 1800s when their government turned on them, and look what happened.
Yeah, we had a civil war and stopped slavery.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, we might actually fix things. Yeah, no, it was the people that turned the guns on the people that were trying to keep the slavery. So I think you're forgetting that part. The people that actually rose up guns to go against the government were the people that were trying to keep the slavery. That's what happened. Okay?
No.
I'm not asking your opinion.
It's not an opinion.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Confederate States were the ones that were super for getting rid of slavery. I totally forgot about that. My bad.
That's not fact.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we'll get back to the same thing. And then you're saying that Trump is saying that he turned the military against its own people? He put the military in place to protect federal grounds and to assist law enforcement.
The law enforcement that didn't need assistance in the
slightest. They definitely did need assistance.
Oh,
they
really?
Did.
Oh, really? So the literal LAPD police chief and the mayor and the governor of the whole state that all said they didn't need it. Do you know how many sworn LAPD officers there are?
I don't. I would like to know the number.
It's like 9,000. Not only on top of that, but they have over 20,000 other law enforcement officers that are in the surrounding area that they can call on, including California state troopers and law enforcement from all across the area. And when Donald Trump sent those troops in, there was a grand total of about 300 protesters that was all locked within a 5 square block area of Los Angeles. So please explain to me how 9,000 police officers with another 20,000 that can be called in, okay, on top of that, can't handle a 5 square block area of Los Angeles. And I'll give you another hint, which is really, really crazy. I have a bunch of friends that live in LA because I'm from like the area. Do you know that most of them didn't even know these protests were going on? That's how non-violent they were for the most part. They didn't even know they were going on. So please explain to me why.
100% false.
I don't care what you think is false. You're telling me that my anecdotal experience of my friends not knowing that a fucking protest was going on is false?
Yeah, because what, do they live under a rock?
No, the LA is really fucking big. You've probably never been there.
They have to live under a rock because if you turn on any channel,
let me guess, you've never been to LA.
The protest was there. The protest was there.
Let me guess, you've never been to Los Angeles. I'm going to go ahead and take that as a
Of course I've been to Los Angeles.
I'm sorry, outside of flying through the airport.
No, I went to an Angels game. Of course I've been to Los Angeles.
Angels are in Anaheim, California. That's not Los Angeles.
Of course I've been to Los Angeles. Again, I've been to an Angels
You've
game.
been to, again, sir, you should go look at where Angel Stadium is because it's in Anaheim, California, which isn't even in LA County. It's in Orange County.
New stadium?
I grew up a huge Angels fan, been to a ton of Angels games, went to Cal State Fullerton, which is literally a 5-minute, well, maybe like 15-minute drive from Angel Stadium. It is not in Los Angeles.
So you're saying if I go to an Angels game, I can't be 30 minutes away from Los Angeles?
You didn't know that Angel Stadium wasn't in Los Angeles. You're trying to tell me that you're the fucking the pro on Los Angeles. So, you don't even realize that the place that you were at wasn't even Los Angeles.
So when I fly into the Angels Stadium, I fly into Anaheim?
Well, the closest airport would be John Wayne Airport, which is in Santa Ana.
Well, the closest airport that is affordable tickets is Los Angeles. You go to John Wayne, smaller.
Actually, John Wayne would be net, and then even more affordable tickets that's even still closer, is still closer than LAX, would be Ontario Airport in San Bernardino County, which is still not Los Angeles, but would still be a closer airport to fly into, and it would be cheaper and more convenient than Los Angeles.
Not the time of booking. Now we're talking about what it costs to book
Sir,
tickets.
I don't know why we're even having this conversation.
Anaheim.
You didn't even know the Angels didn't play in LA.
That's
so
not what
yes,
I said.
my friends that live in Los Angeles didn't even know there was a protest. Literally, I called them up and I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on with this like protest and stuff like that? I'm really curious on like how you got like what's going on down there." And they were like, "What fucking protest, dude? We don't even know what the fuck is going on because it was literally a 5 square block area in downtown Los Angeles that was not affecting 99% of people in Los Angeles." Which again, I would still like you to explain to me how 9,000 sworn LAPD officers, not including LA County sheriffs, not including California state troopers, and not including the other freaking counties that could have all brought in their people, couldn't contain a 5 square block area, which at the time of Donald Trump's deployment had 300 protesters in it. How could they not contain it? And they needed the active duty Marines.
There wasn't 300. There was 1,000.
Okay, sir. How about this? I'm going to say there was 3,000. Okay? Let's say there was 3,000 people. Please explain to me.
Sure.
Please explain to me how 20,000 fucking officers could not contain a 5 square block of people with 3,000 people.
So how many officers are in the LAPD?
Sir, I am not going to repeat myself again. I have done it now 5 times, and I am not going to do it again.
So there's not 20,000 law enforcement officers in the LAPD.
I, again, did not say that. I don't know how after 5 times me saying it, you still have not caught up with the conversation.
There is 9,000 officers in LAPD with 3,000 civilian staff. All 9,000 officers cannot go to a area and forget about everything else.
No, sir, but there's still LA County sheriffs, and then there's California state troopers, and then the city of Los Angeles has the ability to call in police from Riverside County and San Bernardino County and the aforementioned, Orange County and all sorts of county over there where they have tens of thousands of more police officers. And then if for some reason that didn't work, the Governor Newsom has the ability to call in the entire California National Guard whenever he chooses, because they're his National Guard.
Because it would have been.
He did not call in the National Guard. Donald Trump called in the National Guard, which again they didn't fucking need. So again, sir, coming from the person who doesn't even realize that Anaheim's not in Los Angeles, what in the hell are you fucking talking about?
They were attacking federal property.
Is that the best you got there? Because that's not what I asked you like 6 times.
It's
That's what I'm saying. Why I deployed the
Here,
National Guard.
Tobin right here said, Tobin, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, I live in Los Angeles. The national media blew it way out of proportion. Yes, they did, Tobin, 100%. This is the exact same thing that I was told by literally every single person that I talked to that lived anywhere in the vicinity of Los Angeles. And that there was absolutely zero reason for Donald Trump to deploy the National Guard even, forget actually deploying national active duty Marines, outside of the fact that he just wanted to make a show and make a whole big scene out of it because he wanted to look like he was a big tough guy and didn't actually want to have to do anything or actually try to do the right thing. Not to mention the fact that he was actually pulling National Guardsmen away from doing things like, drug interdiction, which was part of their job, which is, they're supposed to be helping with at the southern border and around, ports of entry around the southern border in California, or doing things. He did do that. That was actually confirmed by multiple different sources, including the California,
southern border,
including the California National Guard, The commander of the California National Guard, who
Where is
actually
your
was
source?
literally the California National
Where is
Guard's
your source?
fucking website.
Look it up.
I already did, which is why I told it to you.
Put it on the screen.
No, I am not interested because that is not the point of my
Because
argument.
you're false.
Because I'm not interested in proving that because it's not part of my argument.
Well, you're saying false.
But he also
Well, I
pulled
just want
people
proof.
away from things like freaking fire protection, especially since Donald Trump said that, California completely, went out totally against fire protection and ruined the state of. I'm sorry, sir. Are you still trying to talk while I'm talking? All right, cool.
Insane.
Wasn't really sure. Jocular, thank you so much. Said, I live in Pasadena. Ain't nothing happening, crazy happening. Unfortunately, this guest does not know where Pasadena is, Jocular. I'm very sorry for that. But anyways, sir, when are you going to realize that you were just fooled? When are you going to realize that Donald Trump put on a show and Fox News played all of these things just to fool you, to fucking trick you to think that this was all necessary, while literally you want to talk about an oppressive government coming after you and the need for guns in this country because oppressive government is coming after you, while literally a government is using the military to oppress their own citizens, and you're on the side of the government. You want to talk about a government pressing their people down and saying we need guns to do it while you're on the side of the government that's doing it.
Who do they oppress? Do they oppress the law-abiding people that wanted to throw stuff at federal buildings? And
this guy's on the side of the oppressive government talking about how we need guns to stop from an oppressive government.
So
do you hear this shit?
I guess.
Do you hear this shit?
I guess.
Do you guys literally hear this shit? He's literally backing the government.
He's upset.
Saying that. Isn't that sad?
Oh, he's a little mad. You're a little mad. It's kind of funny.
Sir,
but what I'm saying is that...
see, I was actually raised by good parents who taught me from a very young age not to let stupid people upset you. Okay? Well, and you are the textbook definition of that sucker, okay? And you are the textbook definition of that, okay?
A Christian family, right? That's what you were raised by, a Christian
family?
Oh,
he's a fan. He knows my whole history. You trying to date now?
So then your family kind of threw you on the side, right? Because you don't believe in that
My family
anymore.
loves the hell out of me.
That's sad. What I'm saying is
it's not sad. Don't think just because your family disowned you because of the people that you decided to support, think that my family did. My family can be totally okay with the decisions that I made. Okay? Because my family loves me regardless, because you know what? Regardless of whether I'm a Christian or not, I still stick up for people's rights and people's ability to live freaking freely in this freaking country and to be able to make their own decisions on their body. And for, children not to get shot in school, where I'm sure a lot of your family probably disowns you and doesn't want to talk to you anymore because you vote against that type of thing. All right? And I totally understand why you're probably very confused on why your family doesn't talk to you and my family still loves the shit out of me. And you should probably just look internally to your own decisions. Okay?
They're lying to you.
Oh, not only are they not lying to me, my mom is actually a big fan and watches my show all the freaking time. And she's almost 80 years old. That's pretty impressive.
So
I've had my cousins come and reach out to me and my mother.
Personally attacks people, but in the same voice as
just people that are pieces of shit.
So you can determine who's pieces of shit and who's not, and you have that gives you the right to personally attack people.
Mm-hmm.
That really shows how much character you really have.
Yeah, that's called America.
So you're like a radio shock host. Like a shock jock.
Sir, I really don't care about your opinion of me. Attention. Like, hey, sir, just to let you know, I really don't care about your opinion of me.
It is.
In the slightest.
I know this is what you do to try to get donations.
What I do is make people like you look
nuts.
What I do is I make people like you that try to support things like children. Sir, cut me off again, and I'm hanging up the phone. What I do is freaking show how people like you who support things like the fact that we have uncontrolled guns in this country and that kids are getting killed every fucking day and don't even know the Constitution or the history behind it or the Supreme Court decisions or any type of the legislative actions that have happened because of those guns. People that come up here and instead of trying to become educated and learn more, they try to talk about how they feel about my feelings. Okay. What I do is take people like you who are literally voting against people that your own best interests or voting against the best interests of women, voting against the best interests of children in this fucking country. And I freaking show that you don't know anything. Okay. And I also like to remind people, like I'm reminding people right fucking now, that just remember that this guy that I'm talking to votes. He votes. Okay.
I do.
So you need to make sure your vote, because somebody has to counteract this vote. This completely
I do, along with-
uneducated, completely uninformed, completely freaking like no knowledge freaking voter votes. Okay?
I do, like with six.
All right, cool. He votes. So make sure you vote. Okay? He votes. So make sure you vote. That's what's really important. All right, y'all. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you know when I'm going live. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I am going to call it a night on the live because I'm back to work after my surgery and all that sort of stuff. So I am going to call it a night. I'm gonna say farewell for the evening. I will be back on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Make sure you guys are here. And following and subscribing to all that sort of stuff. 60,000 followers on TikTok. I really appreciate that. 60,000 followers and closing in on 30 on YouTube so quickly. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you guys are joining the ride. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.